Welcome to Lean Startup. This lesson, we're not only going to cover Lean Startup, we're also going to cover Lean. And we're going to talk about the differences between them and also some of the misconceptions of some of the work from Eric Ries. He's the author of Lean Startup, and it's a good opportunity to clarify some of these words like MVP, minimal viable product, the 5 whys, A/B testing, etc. Cool. Let's crack into it. Lean Startup is a bit of a bonus lesson in this course. It's not part of our 7 circumstances of strategy, but it's very valuable to understand some of the terminologies that have infiltrated the communities of transformation. So in this part of the lesson, we'll talk about the differences between Lean and Lean Startup and some of the terminologies that are used. We'll also work into Kanban and how Kanban can be used. And we'll also roll back a little bit and talk about, we know why our company exists, we know who we serve, we know where we're playing, we know what the problem is. Now we're going to look at lean canvases that are going to allow you to look at the viability, the feasibility of those outcomes. They're going to allow you to rock into a value analysis to ensure that this is actually warrantable by a customer. And that's the customer's the most important part. And sometimes not looked at from a lean perspective. When we're doing any sort of transformation, or we're doing a project or a piece of work with an outcome, we need to measure for success. And every objective, as you can see, or strategic initiative should have a set of assumptions that can be measured against customer value. And inside this course, you'll see a whole bunch of KPI recommendations for customer value, but you may look at it and go, customer satisfaction, cycle time, maintenance replaced. Customer satisfaction obviously is part of the customer value chain. Cycle time is about how quickly we can cycle through work from start to live, as you can see. Remember, lead time is when you actually create the piece of work and then you finish it. And maintenance replaced is all about lowering the cost of operations, which is where lean is really good. And we'll see in future lessons where if your strategy is to move towards commoditization, where lean can really shine. Here's some quick information about some different types of lead versus lag indicators. On the left, you'll see customer delight, cycle time, and risk mitigation. These allow you to adapt based upon different situations and impacts from the customer. Whereas planned forecast, variance to budget, triple bottom line, they're the outcomes. They're lagging. They don't allow you to actually adapt to information that you may find along a project or product development lifecycle. So have a think about what ways you measure your success of your project, your program, your organization, and then think about how do you lead those indicators that you know that customer delight or customer satisfaction will lead to customer value, which will allow you to have triple bottom line, as opposed to just monitoring triple bottom line. AgileWheel.com, as we said previously, has some really good graphics. The value proposition is another really good tool that you can use. It allows you to think about the value that your organization or your project is actually delivering to a customer. Now, to get this information, I would recommend understanding your persona first. So this is where I still think in terms of that linear approach. You get your empathy maps to understand your type of customers. You do a persona to understand the correct customer. And this will feed in quite well to a value proposition. It's about understanding your customer needs. You've got to print out this on a course guide, but to be honest, I just draw this on a whiteboard normally and use post-it notes. You want to look at the needs and challenges and problems. Now, as we went through on the Surge canvas, the problem statement is where this comes from. You could use this to actually feed into the search canvas, or the search canvas to feed into a value analysis. You want to understand the pains and the risks, but you also want to look at the benefits and the gains of this customer. What does Pete want? Does he want a problem to be solved? Is it emotional? Is it financial? Is it functional? What is the functional benefit to the problem you're solving or they want solved? This allows you in that circle to really understand your customer. So it's like an addition to the persona. And again, you could use the persona and add this information to the persona. Or if you're not doing personas because you're using users as opposed to customers, you can jump straight to this to understand your problem statement and potential features. As you can see, when you get your gains and pains and customer jobs, you can move straight into products and services. The products and services allow you to list all the things that could help you increase the gains for the customer, decrease their pains, and the customer jobs obviously comes directly. Did I forget that? No, it doesn't have it there. Oh yeah, the tasks they're trying to perform or complete. I look at the customer jobs as really part of the customer journey. So you think about the customer journey map, that can go in there in more detail, in more stage-like. And gains and pains obviously are what the customer is gaining from this product, potential product or service, and the pains are what pains they're relieving. Now, I want to put it out there. Who takes their vitamins? Very little people take vitamins or vitamins. And what we tend to find is pain relievers are far more profitable than healthy alternatives. So really focus on what pains the customer has. That's where you'll be most successful. Then have to think about the features that will allow you to have gain creators or pain relievers. And that's going to help you go, okay, right, this is my customer on the left, right-hand side for you. These are all jobs they want to do as part of their customer journey map. Here's the gains that they wish to have. Here's the pains that they want to get rid of. Here are my products and services. Oh, there it is. Here are my products and services that we've come up with, and the gain and pain removers. Okay. You may have a lot of items. As you can see on the other side of the screen, on the right there, you may get a lot of jobs, a lot of gains, and a lot of pains. This is where ideation and the value proposition can really intermingle. So when you look at all the customer jobs, which almost all the pain points that person has, and all the pains and gains that they're having as part of those jobs, what you'll tend to find is that they are opportunities. Now, those opportunities need to be prioritized. And you may choose one, then use a search canvas and try to ideate your products to match those pains or those gains. Do not focus on functional jobs only. Very important. You don't want to just focus on those one things. Emotions and customer experience is what's really important. And always use one customer per canvas. That's a really good point that he's used there. Always use one customer per canvas. The same way with search canvas, we only have one objective per canvas. In the value proposition, it's one customer. So just to go quickly into detail, the empathy map will have all your potential customers. Your persona will have an individual customer. From the persona, you can go into the value proposition. The value proposition goes in more detail on what that customer wants. The persona is all about them. The customer value proposition allows you to understand their needs and wants and gains and pains. And the customer journey map allows you to map all these things out. So these 4 items as part of service design allow you to understand who your customer is, where their problem lays, where the customer journey is, and what the problem is you potentially could solve. And there'll be lots of problems. And this is why I said it in the previous lesson. You may find yourself walking around seeing all the problems or the potential gains for this customer, but you only want to choose one at a time. So you need to prioritize them. To take this back into a program point of view, when you're looking at a program and you have multiple projects, let's say you have one customer for that program. They'll have 15, 16 pain points, and you'll list them all down in your value proposition. This is the value of this program. Here's all the potential pains we can relieve for the users. In the users, you might go, actually, well, that's the biggest pain for them. Bring it into Search Canvas. The object is to remove that pain.